I've been doing divorce work and family law for a long time. What that means is that I've seen it all, heard it all. Some is true, some is not. I'm Joy Edwards with the Edwards Law Group, and I want to take this time to talk to you about the top 3 myths that you should know if you're about to walk into a divorce case. One of the biggest myths that I hear from people who come into my office getting ready to go through a divorce is that mothers always get custody of their children. Years ago, that may have been the case, but it's not that way anymore. Dads have been stepping up to the plate and taking care of their children in much the same way as mothers have traditionally done. Look, the judge isn't going to be looking at who pushed that baby out. What the judge is going to be looking at is who has been there day in and day out taking care of the children. That's what the court's going to be looking at to make a determination on who should have primary custody of the children in a divorce situation. Myth number 2 is that children get to pick which parent they live with. I can't tell you how many times a mom or a dad has come and sat with us to discuss their divorce issues, and they say to me, well, doesn't my child get to pick which parent they want to live with? That's not the case. Yes, the child can sign an affidavit of election, and if they're over 14, the judge will consider the child's wishes. But considering the child's wishes does not mean that the judge has to do it. Ultimately, regardless of what the child selects, the judge gets to make the decision with which parent is going to foster the best interest of the child. So which parent that child should live with will ultimately not be a decision that the child gets to make, the judge gets to make that decision. The last one, this is also a big one, is that if the non-custodial parent is not paying child support, then they don't get to have visitation. I know you know someone who said that. Well, they're not paying support, so they don't get to see the kids. That's not the way the court looks at it. The judges often think that it's very important that the children have a relationship with either parent, regardless of whether or not the parent is paying child support. The judges also think that it's important that both parents support the children. Now, those two things are two completely separate things, and just because one part of it isn't happening doesn't mean that the other part shouldn't happen as well. Don't be that parent who says, I'm not getting to see my kids, so I'm not paying support. That will not work out well for you in court. At the end of the day, it's really all about how your case is presented. And at the Edwards Law Group, we have years of experience in culling through the ugly to present your case in the best way to the court. So give us a call. We can schedule a strategy session for you to go over your individual situation and get you presented in the best way to move through this divorce process as seamlessly as possible.